Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be listing my top 10 paint schemes for the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series through the first half of the 2018 season. Number 10. Jamie McMurray's number 1 Gear Wrench Chevrolet. Most of Jamie McMurray's paint schemes for his number 1 car look pretty decent. This is my favorite because I like the orange on the car and I like the way the black works with the front of the new Chevy Camaro. And I also like the rareness of orange being on a race car currently in the Cup Series. Now on to number 9. Kyle Larson's number 42 Credit One Bank Chevrolet. Through a huge majority of Kyle Larson's Cup career, he's been in the red Target car. The reason I like this Credit One Bank car is it's a radical change from the normal red of Target to the blue of Credit One Bank. The design on the side of this car is only used for this car, so it's not like how the Penske cars for like Joey Logano and some of Ryan Blaney's cars just switch out the color for the scheme instead of the overall design. I like the use of the multiple blues on the side of this car, and I like the little amount of white shown on this race car. Number 8. Eric Almirola's number 10 Smithfield Foods Ford. My first Ford on this list is on here because I like the radical change it's been from the previous Smithfield cars and the radical change it was from when Danica Patrick was in the 10. I like the simplicity of the black and white usage on the side of this car and throughout the top and bottom of the paint scheme. I also like the gold numbers that stick out and they're not crazily over gold. I also like how this gives Smithfield its own identity instead of being just the petty sponsor with the petty paint scheme behind it. They've also done some combiner paint schemes, whether it be Smithfield and Waffle House and the America car, which also keep this black and white combination together, which gives Smithfield its own look and identity on the track. Now on to number 7. Darrell Wallace Jr.'s number 43 Click and Close Chevy Camaro. As we've seen throughout the years with Petty, they pretty much run one paint scheme with the exemption of the Air Force car that runs pretty much at Daytona July 4th weekend. So when this Click and Close car showed up at Daytona with its shiny purple finish, I thought this was a great radical change and looked really good on the track, especially under the lights. As we've seen throughout the season, Darrell Wallace Jr. shows up with different paint jobs pretty much every week. This Click and Close is my second favorite paint job of his, and I feel like with it being pretty much, if not the only purple car on the racetrack, it sticks out and makes him more noticeable to fans. Number 6. Paul Menard's number 21 Quick Lane Motorcraft Ford. The standard for many years with the Wood brothers, this usually is one of the best, if not the best car to see on the track every week. And now with Paul Menard being behind the wheel, I feel like it gets a little bit of freshening up considering it's not on the track every single week, with Menards coming on to sponsor the 21 when it's not sponsoring Ryan Blaney. I really like how the top of this car is red and the sides white without any color mixing. I also like the gold numbers on the side with the white number on the top, harkening back to the original days of the Wood brothers. With the paint schemes nowadays trying to be flashy and bright and everything, it's good to see that the Wood brothers stick to their guns and run their normal paint scheme with the red and white and don't really radically change from that except when Menards is on the car. This also shows fans team branding, as you can go, that red and white car is always the Wood brothers machine. Now before we continue with this top 10 list, a few honorable mention paint schemes that almost made this list for me. Kyle Larson's number 42 Clover First Data Chevy. Alex Bowman's number 88 Nationwide Patriotic Paint Scheme. Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s number 17 Little Hugs Ford. Chase Elliott's Napa Normal Paint Scheme. Chase Elliott's number 9 Baja Blast Chevy. And Casey Kane's number 95 Procore Chevy Camaro. Now back to the list. Number 5. William Byron's number 24 Exalta Chevy Camaro. A throwback with a little twist to one of the later Jeff Gordon Exalta paint schemes. This one be having a blue finish instead of a black finish. This William Byron car really pulls out the strings of all the Jeff Gordon fans, with the flames on the side really showing the throwback to Jeff Gordon. And hopefully this car will end up in victory lane, considering the 24 hasn't been in victory lane of a points-paying race since Martinsville in 2015. Number 4. Ryan Blaney's number 12 Menards Ford with the white numbers. When this car first rolled out with the red numbers on the side, I really didn't know how to feel about this car. But after seeing it in person at Pocono with the white numbers, with the red spoiler and the red splitter, I really like how they've kind of lightened on the red, and I feel like the white numbers are easier to read in person than those red numbers probably were, hence why the team probably changed the paint scheme. I like the simplicity of this just being that bright Menards color and giving the brand its normal identity that it uses in pretty much every series that Menards is on the car. I also like how it goes away from the aforementioned Penske normal scheme, where the front with the lines is one color and then the body's another color, and those just switch no matter what sponsor's on the car. These Menards paint schemes, whether they be on a Cup car or on an Indy car, are one of the great things to see at a racetrack when you go in person. Number 3. Chase Elliott's Napa USA Chevrolet Camaro. Usually when the NASCAR teams come up with their patriotic paint schemes for the various patriotic weekends throughout the year, I'm normally worried that teams just sit around a room and go, oh, we need a patriotic paint scheme, put the flag on it, and everything's just red, white, and blue. With this Napa paint scheme, I really like how the majority of cars is that dark Napa blue, and the red is just a little accent on the underneath side of the car, if you're looking at this from top to bottom. But one of my favorite things on this car is the yellow numbers. As a person who's been rooting for the 24 car of Jeff Gordon for all these years and is now a Chase Elliott fan, I liked when Hendrick used to run all those yellow number cars. And I feel like this gives a little bit of paying homage to that back in the day with this Napa paint scheme with the patriotic flair to it. Number 2, Alex Bowman's number 88 Nationwide Chevy Camaro. When Alex Bowman was first announced to take over for Dale Jr., I was really excited considering he did a really decent job filling in for Dale Jr. when he ran in 2016. When Hendrick did their announcements for all their paint schemes, there was just something that stuck out to this Bowman car for me. I really like how they changed the numbers from different angles from when Dale Jr. drove it, and I like how it really puts Alex Bowman, giving him his own identity, not just, hey, Dale Jr.'s car has a new driver in it, come root for it. I really like how the big blue stripe in the front really just gets bigger and bigger and then takes over the whole car as you go throughout the paint scheme. And the light little accents of the white really help this car stand out on track. And I really like the black numbers with the white highlights on this number side of the car. I feel like the white really gives it that popping look and makes it look really good on the racetrack. And my number 1 favorite paint scheme of the 2018 first half of the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series season is Darrell Wallace Jr.'s number 43 STP Chevy Camaro. The standard and longtime sponsor of the Petty team, STP, usually has one of the brighter and better paint schemes, but the reason this one is my favorite is I really like how the orange is the majority color of this car. With the orange on the top number, with that Petty blue, and the orange taking over the side and the little accents on the front, make this car really pop and looked really good leading at Bristol. The designs on the side aren't a radical change, and it doesn't look too crazy on the track, like they were just trying to come up with something crazy to get people's attention. Just these slight little changes with the majority of the car being orange now really make this car stand out, and that's why it's my favorite paint scheme of the 2018 season so far. And that'll do it for my list. Leave your favorite paint schemes in the comment section below, and thanks for watching.